We may have broken planet Earth. The machine is malfunctioning.
Caribbean sea temperatures are much warmer. Warmer sea temperatures support development of stronger hurricanes at lower latitudes and increases the likelihood of coral bleaching.
We as parliamentarians, we do a lot of talking, but we also influence policy directions. We are forced morally to do something about trying to alleviate or at least contribute to part of the solution.
In the Caribbean, I'd say in Guyana for particular, we have a population density of 314 people per square kilometer. You know, it's minuscule. So whatever we do is not likely to have any impact, whether either way of the spectrum, in terms of climate change and global warming. But we still have to do something.
We need to move away from arguing about the arithmetic, about, who is responsible for what, who is a bigger greenhouse gas emitter and so forth, and start to think more about the algebra of what it really means philosophically and conceptually. In the case of people in Africa and people in small islands, they are actually suffering the impacts of a way of life, mainly of other people.
Samoa is currently facing the same experiences that the Caribbean is going through in terms of trying to cope with climate change, the impact of climate change.
Our basic challenge is geography. The Bahamas is a country with over 700 islands. The highest elevation is just over 200 feet. And so climate change will significantly affect the Bahamas, the available land with sea level rise. And so we have already been impacted by it.
The entire coastline of Guyana is on an average about 3 to 5 meters below sea level. We are an agriculture-based economy. If the sea rises above that which we can manage, then we will lose all of our agricultural lands, including the capital city of Georgetown.
I don't think the government is doing enough at the moment. As an East African region, we are looking forward to have in place a renewable energy policy, which will take care of the promotion of renewable energy resources, which are abundant in East Africa.
Putting policies in place really makes a difference. I think in a sense, it forces you to go in a particular direction.
Our government is moving towards that direction in drafting a legislation for our energy.
I do training all the time.
Well, it's critical to have dialogue amongst your colleagues who have similar environments. Barbados had an initiative from the 1970s in regards to solar water heaters, and they have implemented that policy to the point where they are highly regarded within the region. And so the lessons learned in Barbados we can take home also.
It is possible for the Caribbean to go 100% green in terms of renewable. You have the resources, you have the sunlight, right? Guyana has the hydro power potential, you have the wind. You know, these are three major important sources of renewable energy, and I'm not even speaking about biomass.
Unfortunately, in the Bahamas, with its geographic layout and its numerous islands, to have 100% renewable energy may not be achievable from a financial standpoint or from a logistical standpoint. However, we do believe that we could have significant contribution in regards to renewable energy in our capital and in our larger islands.
Unfortunately, the costs of these equipment and materials are also very high. And when looked at in terms of what you're paying for now, in terms of buying off the national grid, which is government owned, so it's also subsidized, right? So it doesn't make economic sense. Well, you have to strike a balance. It is important because you don't want to hold back the development of your people. But then you don't want to commit the past of other countries, but that in the process of development, you put the planet in danger. So we more or less want to choose a path of development that is sustainable and that is eco-friendly.
I find that the impact of the e-parliament hearings have been significant to us because it has it has enhanced our knowledge and given us courage to come up with resolutions, come up with legislation in the parliaments in Africa so that we could enforce the governments of the day to think more sustainable as much as they plan the different development projects around the countries.
And I found this presentation today very useful for some more. And I will take the lessons that I've learned here in order to develop our energy policy that we have launched. And I really want to see our policy being a success story for Samoa.
One of the things that I've learned is one does not need to reinvent the wheel. There are numerous tools available within the region that we can adjust or tweak that could all be used within our country, and it's important that we get together and find out what tools are available and use them.
I've gotten so much information from this seminar that I really didn't realize that that body of knowledge existed. And I have found very important points that certainly in my next budget debate, I really will have a lot to say.
It has to do with the will, and it has to do with the access to financing and the technology.
So we must find creative ways to help the rest of the world solve their problems. And one should never think that because you're small that you can't help.